so people don't like whatever. I'm gonna zoom. Oh, boop, boop, boop. No, didn't want to do that.
All right, and I'm just doing a couple other things, so you let me know when you're ready. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's gotten real weird on me now. She's not wanting to speak at events, so I it's just pick your battles, as you said. Pick your battles.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's I understand. When I was little, I used to be this little kid who was very nervous, very shy when I was 7 years old. So I understand. I wouldn't want to push her
Well, the thing
to do
is,
something that.
she's been all over the world speaking, but I don't know. She just, I don't know. I guess because she's done it so much, she don't want to keep doing it. So there's
Yeah,
still
I
a lot
mean,
of
it can be
work that
very
needs to be done,
stressful.
but that's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it can be very stressful. So I understand completely that why Sarah
yeah.
wouldn't want to do it. Um. So so tell us your story, Deborah.
All right. I wanted to plug in just to
Gotcha.
hold on a second. All right. So tell me more about how you do this because everybody does it
Well,
differently.
this
So
this
do
is
you
something
interview
called.
me or what?
Yeah, it's an interview. We do it through something called Streamlabs. It's I actually connected it through Zoom.
I
Um,
mean, I know
and
that's
I
kind of stuff because I'm always speaking, but what I'm wondering, do you ask me questions? Do I just tell you my story? Are you going to ask me questions along the way?
Yeah, I mean, I can ask you anything. You can ask me anything. It's a typical just getting to know each other. So tell us your story,
Um,
Deborah.
okay. Should I introduce myself? All right. I'll just go with it. You let me know if this isn't the way you want me to do it. So do you want to do? So we're gonna begin now.
Yeah, we just begun. So what do you do?
My name is Deborah Rue, and I am the CEO and founder of Rue Global Impact. And I'm also the founder, really co founder and chairwoman of Billion Strong. And just to explain what those two things mean, um, I, I identify as a person with disabilities. I'm neurodiverse. I have ADHD. I am the mother of a daughter and a son, and my daughter is 34 years old, and she was born with Down syndrome. And also, I'm married, and I have been married for almost 39 years as of September. And unfortunately, my husband has dementia and Parkinson's disease. And he has it because he was hit by a car when he was 11 years old, and it was a very bad car accident. He died on the scene, but they revived him. And he was in a coma for 10 days, and then he didn't go back to school for months. But he grew up to get married and have two children and work in the tech field. But unfortunately, when your brain gets crushed by a car, dementia sometimes comes for you. So he is um, dealing with dementia and Parkinson disease, which is difficult, but what
Wow,
can you
I'm
do?
so sorry.
Yes.
I lived through. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I went through 24 surgeries and I was close to death five
Wow.
times.
Wow.
So yeah, I can kind of. I don't know if
Relate.
I can relate to being hit with a car, but
Yeah. Yeah. Cars, and unfortunately, the driver was drunk. It was in the morning, and my husband had just gotten his kite flying really well, and he stepped in front of this car.
aw,
So it's yeah, it's and of course, well, I didn't know him then, but It's a sad walk, but the reality for this walk is that I'm very proud to be part of the disability community. I'm very proud to have lived experiences of so many in so many ways, individually, as a mother, as a spouse. So this is very real to me. So I was in the banking industry for many years at an executive level. I'd done real good, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't feel like I was making enough of an impact. And then when Sarah, my daughter, reached middle school, and I started hearing the low expectations that the experts had for my daughter. They
Oh
didn't think she
no.
could ever join the workforce. She pretty much, they didn't think she'd do anything. And I was so
So in other
surprised by
words, they
that.
said the same exact thing my parents told me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Why are we underestimating people?
Well,
Why?
well, for me, my experience was they told me, they told my parents I wouldn't live past
Right.
5 or 2.
Yeah.
I was very extremely experimental surgeries. They were very extreme. So yeah, I mean, I can, maybe they were giving you some warnings. But honestly, as long as your daughter is happy and is doing well and exceeding the expectations of what I hope the doctor said she wouldn't do, which I'm betting she is, because what you just told me, she's been over the world, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's
Talking to,
interesting, Corey, because they told us, the experts, when they first diagnosed her with Down syndrome, that she wouldn't walk or talk. Well, they were wrong. And they've been wrong about everything else too. And it's so it became my, what it's, and I'm not the only one doing it, but it became part of my life's work to make sure that society learns to stop underestimating people. We really need to stop underestimating people. So
yeah, here,
Sarah
here.
is my daughter. Sarah is so many things, but her life matters. And I believe that she's added value to the world because she's alive. And you know this, Corey, because I've complained to you about this, because you and I have been friends for a long time
Yeah.
because of the work that we do. But there, one time somebody tweeted that if you find that you have a fetus, your mother, and you have a child that isn't born yet that has Down syndrome, abort it and try again. That was the tweet. And that tweet really made me super mad, really super mad, because I just think it's so ridiculous in so many ways. But what that tweet is saying is that my daughter doesn't even deserve to be born. And I really will fight anybody in society and say that's not true, because we can try to eradicate Down syndrome, but what? So underestimating people and acting like certain members of our society doesn't matter and they're not good enough to be included is ridiculous. And so that's what
Yeah,
my
I've
work has
experienced that
always been
myself.
about. It's been about breaking down the barriers, everybody coming together. We're a billion strong. We have 1.3 billion people with disabilities in the world. If we did nothing else but all come together to celebrate our lived experiences, celebrate each other, buy from each other, hire each other, we would be so much stronger. And we can't forget about our brothers and sisters in other countries that have disabilities. We have to do it together. And so that's what my newest nonprofit, Billion Strong, is about, billion-strong.org. And I hope you, Corey, and all of your listeners and all of your friends join this free movement. It's free to be part of this, and it is a global movement. We have 70 countries involved now. We have ambassadors, we have princesses, we have individuals with disabilities, we have young people with disabilities, we have people that speak all kind of different languages, all different cultures, all different age groups,
Mhm.
leaders, people brand new just starting their career. We are a billion strong, and we've got to come together. sort of like what the LGBT community did, where they came together with pride to fight for their rights. And now, if
Hmm.
you are part of the LGBT community, you can get married in the United States. They wouldn't have had those rights if they didn't come together and fight together for their rights and say, no, I'm a person with a disability. That doesn't mean I'm broken. It means I'm a person. So I think that's why the work I do. I think it is a platform to really include other voices to be heard. But we all need to join the movement. So um, it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn it, I forgot. I just lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say. But,
I love your
I'm a
T-shirt, though.
proud.
I'm interrupting you,
Yeah,
but
thank you.
that's
I
really
love
cool.
Marvel. I love Marvel. Have you guys been binge watching Marvel
Oh, I
stuff?
love
Like, I
Marvel
know
too.
Disney Plus has a lot of great Marvel series. Like, honestly, it's
And I love the
astounding.
diversity we're seeing in the Marvel series too. That we have women that are, heroes, and we have, people that are black and brown. And I like some of them are red, right? So I love all of the
She's referring to
series.
the Scarlet Witch, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I love that, right? So,
Oh,
and
I
by the
loved the
way,
WandaVision series.
yeah, people say witch is a bad word, but witch has often been used to persecute women. So, witch actually can be a very powerful word. So,
Yeah, I went to Salem, Massachusetts. It was incredible, the history,
yeah, it's
and
it's amazing
there
how
was
much people can hurt each other, isn't it, Corey? It's amazing.
it really was impactful to me. Even though I'm not gonna lie, going to Salem, Massachusetts 2 years ago from now, or yeah, almost 2 years ago from now, it really felt like being in Halloween Town. The
Ah,
Disney
that's one of my
Channel
daughter's favorite
series.
shows.
Yeah, you gotta take her to Salem, Massachusetts, because it's like Halloween Town. It
Ah,
really is. I felt like a child all over again. And I even went to this one building. I didn't go in it, I wasn't allowed in it. But if you are a fan of, oh, what was that series? Um, it was about three witches
Charmed.
who. No, it
um,
was an old classic Disney movie. What was it?
it
Three.
was an escape from. Yeah, there's been some. Oh, also there is. I can see it. The Three Witches. Bette Midler is one of them. Whenever Sarah was in the hospital, we watched this show over and over and over and over again. Um, I and I'm totally blanking on it. I
Yeah,
don't know if
sorry.
that's the one you're talking about, but they were really
Yeah,
surprised at how well
and
it
there's a
did.
sequel coming to it. Also later this year, coming on Disney Plus. I think it's called Bewitched or Hocus
Hocus
Pocus.
Pocus. Are you talking? Hocus Pocus. How
That's
can
the
we
one.
forget Hocus Pocus? I love Hocus Pocus. And when Sarah, and I know you knew this, you've always been very supportive. I don't know. It's interesting how we've supported each other. I haven't ever met your mom, but when Sarah got so sick in 2018, when she was in the hospital, it was in the fall, and they were having like the 29 countdowns or 31 countdown to Halloween, and they played Hocus Pocus over and over and over again. And it's just such a cute show. So, but they are surprised at how popular it still is. So I think they just had their 25th uh, anniversary, which happened to be when Sarah was in the hospital. So
Oh wow, that's so cute. I really hope Disney is watching this.
that's right. Well, we love Disney. Sarah loves Disney, and we have Disney
so
Plus.
so I'm guessing you binge watched a lot of Disney stuff, huh?
Well, I
During the pandemic.
yeah, Sarah binge watches a lot of it. You know what, Corey, I'm really bad about working a lot, but the work I'm doing, it feels important because I want to make sure that the younger people with disabilities have a voice, and that they have a place to really speak for themselves instead of me speaking for them. And
Absolutely.
so, but I during this pandemic, I have done some binge watching. I definitely have. Um, and so I, Sarah loves Christmas movies and she loves Halloween movies. So we're constantly doing that. But
Me
you know
too.
what I've been binge watching? Bigfoot stuff. I don't know why, but I have just been listening to Bigfoot videos
Do
on
you have the
YouTube.
Disney bundle, the Disney Hulu and ESPN bundle?
I don't have that. I have Hulu. I have them all, but not bundled.
Oh, well, I do. And anyway, so I'm guessing you've been binge watching the Hulu. There was this like mini series on Disney, I'm sorry, Hulu, that this guy talked about his stories of having being on Bigfoot and experiences. It was really interesting, I thought.
I'm watching mainly the on YouTube, and there's so many. And what I love about YouTube is that a lot of those movies will be on there too. So I don't know why I all of a sudden there's thousands and thousands of people that have reported seeing Bigfoot. You know,
Oh
every
yeah, all
year.
over the world. There's
I
even
know. So I don't
there's
know
one
if
in Ohio. Um, what's he called?
Ohio's mentioned a lot.
Yeah, Ohio has oh, I forget his name. I even put him as a character in my story
Okay.
once. He's called Sasquatch. No, no, no.
Sasquatch is one of the
Grassman.
names.
Grassman. That's the Ohio
Grassman,
Bigfoot.
I've
He's
never
called
heard that
Grassman.
term. I've heard hairy people. Anyway, it's just funny because I have never ever explored that subject before. And then during COVID-19, I've listened to so many different stories, and I watch it on Hulu and on other, but I don't know why all of a sudden I'm fascinated with Bigfoot, but I've seen so many stories that you know what, I don't understand the world. The world has changed a lot. And I think it's sort of naive for us to think that there aren't species living on our planet that we don't know about. But at the same time, I hate how we act like we're superior to all other animal forms, like we're superior to elephants and dolphins
I
and
love
whales.
elephants.
It's ridiculous. We should be better
I
stewards.
love elephants.
I
Do
do
you know
too.
why?
I love
Did I tell you? Did I tell you why I loved elephants?
no.
Okay, and I know a lot of people would not like me probably for saying this, but when I was born with those 24 surgeries, my parents struggled to find me something to watch, and the one thing that I watched 35 times was Dumbo.
Oh, okay. Right. I love Dumbo.
I love that movie. I know a little bit, there's a lot of probably racial things that
Oh, yeah.
were in the Dumbo movie, but I didn't know at the time. I was just born for crying out loud. And so to me, I had like a breathing tube and I thought I had a trunk,
Oh,
an
fun. Well, you've
elephant
always had a
trunk.
great imagination, Corey.
Oh yeah, and I just thought I was Dumbo and I thought him and I were related or something like that. And so I watched that movie 35 times and that's what kept me going through the hard times that I went through going under 24
Oh,
surgeries
yeah. That's
when I was
24
born.
is ridiculous. Wow.
Yeah, and so I've been close to death 5 times, like I told you before, and I was even in an article, an Akron Beacon Journal article that no one seems to care about, no one seems to know about.
Well, why don't you, if you pass me the URL of the article, I can turn up the volume. I have a lot of followers on social media. So,
So like I'll send you a picture.
You send me the link to the article, and you can send me a picture too.
Oh,
You
not
guys send me
that
the link.
article. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm talking about the night. It was the 1990s. You honestly think there was? I'm talking about like a piece of paper,
Okay.
like a news article,
All right, cool.
newspaper.
And they don't have it because a lot of those articles that were done before, they've actually put back out there. They've put them
It
online.
was I've seen it on Musica.
Okay.
That is down in Akron, I think. Akron, Ohio. And I was surprised and appalled that someone held that article up on a wall of newspapers about Akron. And
Oh,
I
fun.
was amazed because I did not think that I was much of a miracle as my parents thought I was, because no one knew that story. Some people might have. My mom says people came to me and said, "Is that the boy that should be named a miracle?" And that's what the newspaper said, Corey, the boy who should be named a miracle.
Oh,
And I don't want to give my last name, but that's what the article said. And now, as the years gone by, I felt like I've been more of a Frankenstein monster because when I was little, I got bullied a lot, so I felt poetically I was being bullied. Being a guy who went through experimental surgeries, I felt I was the Frankenstein monster of Akron and Cleveland Clinic.
oh. Yeah, that's why we have to keep normalizing these conversations because you don't know what people are walking. So, Corey, what are you going to do with this podcast? Have you had multiple guests yet?
I've had amazing guests. I wouldn't tell you how amazed I am at how open people would be. I had a music composer
Fun.
who got Emmy'd,
Oh,
nominated 5 times.
whoa.
And the things that this woman struggled, it was incredible to hear.
Yeah.
And she's still struggling with it now.
Well, everybody struggles, and I think sometimes people don't realize they know they're struggling themselves, but they think other people have figured it out. But part of being alive is you're going to struggle. It's part of it.
Yeah, that's the sad part, is that people think, oh, I know exactly what you're going through. Oh, I know. But they don't, and I've felt like that before way too many times, and it's like,
That's why we tell stories so that people can try to understand where you're coming from.
yeah, that's why I've written my stories a lot, to tell people and express it symbolically through these characters, good
Right.
superheroes and the villains, expressing what the evil looks like,
Right.
what discrimination, what you've described as discrimination looks like, embody it in a malevolent, evil soul of a character that you can see some. Because there have been Marvel characters that have been not good. That's why Loki is like is actually one of the favorites out of any Marvel villain. Um, you really get to understand what these villains go through and the heroes go through, and it's kind of like an argument to who's right and who's wrong, because both sides feel like they are right. And that's kind of what I'm expressing, and that's what I love about writing my stories, is I'm expressing that evil and that wrong, and also the good in people that I've seen, much like your daughter, and so many other people I've met over the years into this superhero universe that I've written. Um, that's what I've been doing. Besides binge watching, that's what I did over the pandemic.
Yeah.
was right so much. And now
Right.
I've
And
been
it's,
working.
I think it's always interesting when you're writing bad or good characters. You know, characters, everybody has a little of all of that in them, you know? And I think that's when you really create complex characters, when you explore, can Loki also have some good in him, you know? So, or is he
Yeah,
only
that's what I
evil?
loved. Yeah, that's what I loved about his yeah, I even here, hang on. I even read Loki, a volume.
Oh,
Just
fun.
finished it last night, and I'm gonna give my review on Instagram like I always do whenever I finish reading a graphic novel. And honestly, he's a very interesting character. You kind of see him as both a good and a bad
Right.
character, like a villain, but like much like an anti-hero. You know what I mean?
Yep. I agree. And to me, those are the best, the ones that are very complicated, you know?
Yeah, complex.
Yeah. And I know that Loki has a new Disney Plus show out.
It's excellent. You got if you are into crime thrillers and mysteries, you have to watch
I
Loki.
did. I watched the first episode. I liked it.
Oh, you gotta watch the rest.
I know I haven't yet,
It's
but
it's so bombarded, and I'm still upset like everyone else who heard that the woman Kate, who was the director of Loki, quit. She was just a one and done person director. So I'm interested and both worried how season 2 is going to turn out, because season 1 was a masterpiece in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. I know it's always interesting to see what happens. If it's going to be better or
Yeah.
worse.
So so how has your daughter struggled with being bullied? Like, do you want to give a little insight of what she struggles with, like
Well,
not just
I think
Down syndrome, but
there's a lot of ways to be bullied, and in a lot of ways, she was very accepted by her peers when she was in school, and but I think what she struggled with the most is that um, all the shows that she watched, television shows, always shows people with Down syndrome, for example, or people with disabilities as, broken characters. And so she, for a while, started saying, stop telling people I have Down syndrome. I don't have Down syndrome. And because she saw Down syndrome being portrayed as a negative. And so my daughter does have an intellectual disability. She does, but she also is very bright and very interesting and very good with technology. And there's a lot of she's a complex human being, like human beings are. So it's not as much that she got some bullying, but I think almost my son got more bullying than she did. It was like her peers felt like she was sort of off limits for bullying, but she wasn't included in the same ways. So it's like, it's not the bullying that a lot of times we think about. It's just more about the isolation, the loneliness, not being included, being told you're not going to have a normal life. She also got sick of being the poster child for everybody, in that, oh, here's this sweet girl with Down syndrome. Well, maybe she don't want to be sweet today. Everybody don't always want to be sweet and nice. So I think the thing that has hurt her the most is society just dismissing her and ignoring her. So it's a very isolating, and we try to help with that, but as not so much some of the traditional bullying we saw with her peers, where it's for some reason it seems sometimes that a lot of her male peers with special needs got bullied more than she did. And I don't know, I don't know. We need to stop all the bullying, but bullying comes in different ways, including not being included because you're perceived as different. and she gets really tired of people treating her like she doesn't matter, and that she
Oh my
doesn't
gosh. I'm
think for
sorry about
herself,
that.
and that she doesn't have an opinion about stuff, because she is definitely very opinionated. So not being taken seriously, I think, is more of an issue for her these days.
You know what? That's exactly what I struggled with. People always saw me as, oh, here's Corey, the boy who got sick a lot.
Right.
Um,
The miracle boy. And there's a lot of pressure
oh,
for that
trust me, no
too.
one thought me as a miracle when I was growing up. Like I said, it went out over the years. It was like a one and done year when that article came out.
Right.
Um,
How old are you now,
so
Corey?
27.
All right. Because it's interesting how things shift and change as you grow up, because the way my daughter was treated by society when she was a little girl with Down syndrome was different from how she was treated as a teenager with Down syndrome, is different from how as a young adult to, it's just, and I find that when she and her peers transitioned out of school, um, they become a lot more isolated. So there's just a lot of issues, and the issues shift as you move through your life, you know.
Hmm.
And so it's in some ways, I think it's harder now for her, now that she's an adult, 34-year-old woman, with Down syndrome. And she moved out of the house. She was in a supported apartment, and she did that for a year and a half, and then it just things got complicated, partially because of COVID-19 and also because of my husband walking this really sad path. So she actually moved back home. And I said, you can move back home, but don't move back home with your mom. Let's be roommates. Let's be two women that are living together. Um, because there's nothing wrong with living with family, nothing wrong with that at all. But especially these days, more families are moving back in with each other because they're understanding that we have to support each other during these really intense times. But being underestimated is something my daughter gets sick of.
That was something I struggled with a lot. I struggled, and that's how I got bullied. That's how I got bullied. Was I got what your daughter had, which was what? Hello.
I'm here.
Your daughter got like downsized or treated as what?
My daughter, she just is underestimated. She's always
Underestimated.
underestimated.
That
Yeah,
was the word.
yeah,
Yeah, I got underestimated a lot, and I
yeah.
actually scored higher than like 5 out of all the Ohio State schools, because I was the boy who got sick 35 times each year,
Right.
and I underestimated everyone. But still, some people, even I think some of my schoolmates treat me as like Corey, the boy who got sick a lot.
Right.
But now I'm known as a YouTuber to my schoolmates because they know what I've been doing. My buddy Eddie, who has a Twitch channel called Broken Wild with an E at the end. Um, he, yeah, I mean, but there was, and that's kind of what my stories are about, the underdogs,
Right.
showing and proving to people in society that, and helping others motivate them to say, hey, we are human beings. We
Right.
are
And we
not
can
just
add value.
these broken toys. Yeah.
Right. We can add value if you let us. And Corey, what is your channel on YouTube? What is the name of your channel?
Corey Dreamer, Corey space Dreamer, Dreamer. Everyone asks me to spell it.
I didn't think you could do a space. So, but maybe I'm wrong.
On Corey? Or on YouTube?
Yeah. Oh, I see it.
Or
All
is
right,
it?
cool. Wow, you've got a lot of videos out there. 1,192 videos. I'll subscribe to it.
Yeah.
I'm out there too as Deborah Rue Global. They made me put it all together. But yeah, you've got a lot of videos out here. Wow.
Yeah, the videos that I've been doing. Oh, I got you. And I have you on here as well. And
Yeah,
I
you should
subscribe
follow
to
me,
you back.
Deborah Rue Global. And also, you should follow Billion Strong, because that's, I'm so proud of that. And we just started. So we have 24 subscribers and 6 videos, but that's okay. We're just 100% starting. So, sometimes you just
Just
have
to
to
be clear,
start.
you know I've been on YouTube, right?
No, I don't know that I mean, I'm not sure what you mean.
Like,
I did not know you were on YouTube. So I just now, I just
oh
subscribed
shit.
to your channel, but no, I did not know that.
Oh, I thought you did.
Nope.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I am now. I'm following you now. So, well, let me make sure that your audience knows that if you, once again, if you want to follow us on YouTube, it's DEBRARUH Global. And I have tons and tons of videos out there. And then Billion Strong is our new nonprofit. And Rue Global is ruhglobal.com. And Billion Strong, which I highly recommend everybody join the free movement, is
I will post that in the
www.billion-strong.org.
link description.
BILLION dash strong.org. And so it's a free movement. We are getting people from all over the world to come together so that we can be billion strong, because we're billion strong, not billion abilities or billion disabilities. We're about being human beings. So very important that everybody come together and share each other's work and support each other. So thank you for having me on your show today, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I wish I could have had you earlier, but I've been crazy. I mean, this podcast has helped me so much
I'm glad.
with my self-esteem and my social anxiety, with everything that's going on, including this new Delta variant
Yep.
that is sweeping Ohio. I mean, my mom and I are even thinking of not going to this one festival that is coming up this weekend or next weekend, and I'm
Because
hoping
it's
it gets
dangerous.
canceled.
It's dangerous. And if you go outside, whether you've been vaccinated or not, you should wear your mask. So yeah, I'm nervous about that too. And I have employees all over the world. So I worry about, what's happening to them. And I have a woman that works for me that's blind in the Philippines. I have a gentleman that works for me in Syria. I have people that work for me in Germany and Costa Rica. So, there's some really scary things happening all over the planet. So, and we got to take care of this precious planet that we're on too. But we're all stronger together. So we have to support each other.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on my podcast. This has helped me so much with my anxiety, social anxiety going on, so I really appreciate that you took the time. I respect that your daughter, being a very shy person, being someone who was a 7-year-old me, who was shy, I can respect that, so...
She's gotten more shy as the time goes on. So I try not to push her. It's like, we'd love
Gotcha.
you to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's okay too. All's okay. So, but thank you, Corey, and thank you to your audience. And now I do know you're on YouTube, so I'll be sure to go back and
And
look at your
also,
episodes.
I also want to let you know, if you ever want to come back on here, please let me know.
Okay.
We'll schedule a time if you ever want to come back on here to talk another topic. So thank you for being on here.
Yeah,
Really
thank you,
appreciate it.
Corey. And thank you to everybody